So this year for our high school art show, we went online because of COVID-19. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how you can set up a website to have an online juried art show. So let's look at the website that I created, and then I'm going to walk you through how to create one yourself. My homepage just has a header right here. It has a link to email me, a little logo, and some information. And here's information about the show, an image of the juror. The award winners are in a slideshow below. And up at the top, you can see the different categories that we chose for this show. So photography. So here's what the photography page looks like. As you can see, some are landscape and some are portrait mode. And if you scroll over, you will be able to see the title information. And then if you click on the image, it will draw it in closer. Notice also how I have arrows to the right or left, so you can just scroll through the entire show that way. The other sections I have are painting, drawing, digital, music, and sculpture. And it's the same idea for each of these sections. So let's go in and take a closer look. Let's look at how we set up a juried art show site. Go to your Weebly website login page and scroll down to add a site. Just need a website. We're not going to do an online store. And you're going to want to choose a portfolio since we're going to be showcasing artwork. What I like to do is I like to look at the way the menu options look for these choices that I have here and choose the one with the best looking menu option. I'm going to try this one down here and start editing. Let's choose a domain name. I'm going to choose Estabrook Juried Show Tutorial. And down here, you can see in the subdomain, the free version, I do have it available right here. So I'm going to choose. Now I'm ready to start editing. Okay, now that everything's loaded, you can take a look at what's already set up for you and decide what you like and what you don't like about it. Obviously, one of the first steps you're going to want to do is to change the title of it. So for mine, I'm going to call it Estabrook Juried Show. And I've got home, about, services, portfolio, and contact. And based on what I set up over here, I'm not going to need all those. I do like having the home button, but all of these are going to actually end up turning into the different pages for my different mediums that we're working with. So let's rearrange the pages. Home is already set to home. That's good. About, I don't need about, so I'm going to click on it and delete. Yes. Again, services, delete. First thing to do is to customize your front page. So you need to change out the text in here and the image that you're using. You can use any kind of image that you have, or you can use some kind of image that Weebly has for you. So let's call this the Estabrook Juried Show 2020. And below it, instead of this view portfolio, I'm going to click that out. And I'm going to add a button so that people can contact me with any questions they might have about the juried show. Another thing I'm noticing is I think that this is a little bit too small. So I'm going to want to customize that as well. So I'm going to click and drag a button underneath my menu title and customize it. I'm going to go a little bit larger. And then, of course, I need to link it to my email. Okay, so let's customize the image. So we're going to edit the background. We're going to replace this image. You can search from the internet here. You can search URL. I'm going to search art. See what comes up. Kind of like this image. Cool. Down here, you can see there's a lot of already information that's provided for you. I don't want any of that. So the next few minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to click on each of these and delete so that I can customize this the way that I want to. Oops, I forgot to save. So spend some time just going to each of these X's and cancel all of this formatting out. So I've cleared all the formatting from the front page, the home page of my juried art show. Now I'm going to add the 3 elements that I have on here, which is an image of the juror, information about the show, and then the slideshow presentation underneath. So if we come back, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click and drag over just common text. And then to the left of that text, I want an image. And I can reassign the size of these images and the text as I see fit. So let's upload an image that I have. Sample image. See what it looks like. Might be a little bit too big, so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze it down a little bit further. That looks good. And now I'm prepared to go ahead and write about the show. In this, you want to give some information about your juror. So we'll go back here. And you can see I gave some information about the juror. I even gave a link to the juror's own art website so that people can find out where she's coming from and what type of artwork she makes. And it's also a good way to promote her work. It might be something you can give her in exchange for a payment. So you decide if you're going to be able to pay her or if you just want to offer to promote her own work. So once you fill that in, then the last thing you're going to do is add a slideshow at the very bottom. And I like this to be a simple slideshow. I'm not ready to add any images to that. We're going to talk about that in another video. Okay. So I'm going to click publish. We got our first page going. Now that we have the home page set up, we can start going to our different pages for the different content that we have in our juried show. So go to your pages and we're going to add a page, a standard page. And the first one I'm going to call photography. And you have a choice right here. You can hide this in the navigation or you can have it visible. If you hide it, then nobody will be able to see it. So that if you are working on your website and you don't want people to see the content yet, you could go ahead and hide it until you're ready to officially publish this show. For this purpose, I'm going to have it visible so you all can see. I don't like to have a header when I have my portfolio pages because then people have to scroll down too far to see it. So I'm going to click on no header. Everyone knows it's photography already because they just clicked on photography. I'm going to click done. Now I'm ready to build up this page. So I go to build and I'm going to add a gallery. A gallery is a nice, easy way to keep everything organized in your show. So once you have all your photographs downloaded and ready from your form, you can click on here and then upload from your computer. You can do a bulk upload if you'd like to. I'm going to show you just some random pictures that I have of my own. Go. I'm going to choose different types of images so you can see what it looks like when you have horizontal and vertical images. And click open. And so now that the images have loaded for the photography page, I can now customize how I want it to look. Automatically, when you do a gallery, it will show 3 across and it will crop all of your images the same rectangular form. So, and you can see in my images here on my own website, I did 4 across, and I've also made sure that all the images are shown in their full uncropped form. So let's take a look at how to do that. So you're going to click on the white area and you're going to change the columns to whatever fits best for your show. So in mine, I've uploaded 8 images, so probably having 4 across will look better than having 3 across. That's up to you and how many images you have. You can alter the spacing and you can alter the caption. I like to have a caption over hover. And for the thumbnails, I like full thumbnails and lightbox. Okay, and then in the advanced setting, this is the important part where you're going to be able to have your gallery without some cropped images. Underneath image ratio, it says rectangle. You could change it to square, so everything would be cropped into a square, or you could change it to no image ratio, and it will show the full image. Another option is a border. You can choose a thin, medium, or a thick border. I like having a thick border just to have them set out from each other in these images. Okay, and then of course you can change the spacing between. So you can see it gets smaller or it can get larger. I like to have a good amount of spacing between any of these images. All right, one last thing you need to do before you're ready is work on, well, I'm sorry, 2 last things is you need to work on their caption. So for doing a juried show, you want to have the name of the artist. So if the name is Monica Estabrook, since you can't do italics, I like to use quotation marks, title, dimensions, and the medium. And then you can click done. Another thing you can see, you scroll over, you can see the caption. Another thing you need to do is rearrange your gallery so that it looks visually appropriate as well. So, for example, I can just move this over here, move this over here to spread out these vertical compositions as much as possible. And that has a more natural look to it. When you're ready, go ahead and publish. Okay, so you'll do the same thing with the rest of your BDMs for sculpture or anything else that you've done. Let's take a look at what it looks like live. Because after you've published everything and it's ready to go, you need to publish the awards. There's a couple ways to do the awards. The first way would be if you go to your photography, you could have the awards listed underneath each one. So what I did for mine is I went back and I changed the caption to say what award that image won, so that when somebody's looking through the photography page, they can instantly see that. Another way that I showed the awards was doing a slideshow on the home page. For my show, I did a slide about the juror, and I did a slide for all the award winners. And then in particular for me, I used slides to cover the artists who were planning to go on and study art in college as kind of a nice farewell for my senior students. So in my next video, you'll be able to see how I put this together. So let's take a look at how our show looks. Looking good. You can see you can hover over and see it, and then you can click, and you'll be able to click and pull up the image nice and large. So you can see it looks nice. If you click on the image, or if you hover over, you can see the text. You click on it and you can see the image large. The nice thing is you can just scroll through to the rest of the images in the show. And that's how you create your very own juried online art show. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments section, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Thank you.